welcome to Clean Coder YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel, I'll highly recommend you to subscribe to my channel as I make content related to software engineering, system design, and data structures and algorithms. Welcome to the second part of this exception handling series. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about the exception hierarchy. So, exception hierarchy we are going to study in depth in this tutorial. So, let's get started. Okay, so this is the exception hierarchy. Okay, let me explain you from the top. The object is the parent class, right? All the classes inherit from the object class. This object class throwable inherits this object class, and these exceptions and error class, these two classes inherit the throwable. The throwable class is common among all the exceptions and errors in Java. So that's the crux here. Now let's study this exceptions part. So exceptions can be divided into two types, right? First part is checkered exceptions like IO or compile time exceptions. So checkered exceptions are also called compile time exceptions. And the second part in this exceptions is the unchecked exceptions. The examples of unchecked exceptions are runtime or null pointer exception. That is those which you can't identify at compile time. Don't worry, we are going to study the differences of these two in depth in the coming tutorial, but for introduction sake, this is the difference between them. And in the error part, so error like virtual machine error or assertion error, so these are some of the errors. So this is the exception hierarchy of the throwable and exceptions and error. So this throwable class has a lots of significance attached to it. We are going to have a brief look over this throwable class. So let's check that out. Okay, so this is the class throwable and it's in the java.lang. Uh, so this is the throwable class. So it implements this serializable interface. So the serializable interfaces, why is that implemented commonly? It's implemented when you want to serialize the object, like you want to write that somewhere, right? So that's why this serializable is used. So from here we are getting an idea that throwable is serialized. So we are going to write the exceptions or the errors somewhere, right? So commonly stack trace is written, it's serialized, and from stack trace we get to know what the exact issue, exception, or error was. So everything is there in this throwable class. So we'll come to that also. I'll show you some of the methods which are there in this throwable class, which are related to stack trace also. So there are some directly known subclasses. We have already studied them, right? This error and exception. These are the subclasses directly inheriting this throwable. So whatever is there in the throwable, it's coming in these two classes as well via inheritance. So these classes might override the behavior, or these might not override the behavior. So that's the crux of these. So this is the class signature. So this is the name of the class throwable and its extends object we have already seen, and this implements a serializable interface. Okay, so let's read the theory a bit. Like this theory I have taken directly from the official Oracle documentation. I found this really useful, so I hope like you will also find this useful. So I'll just go over through these points briefly, but like if you want complete information, feel free to browse this in the official Oracle documentation. So let's go through these points one by one. So the throwable class is superclass of all errors and exceptions in the Java language. Okay, only objects that are instances of this class or one of its subclasses are thrown by the JVM or can be thrown by the Java throw statements. So you can only throw the exceptions or the errors which are implementing this or extending this class, right? So throwable is directly related to throw. So since the exception and error class extends the throwable, that's why you can use them in the throw statement. So this is just signifying that. Similarly, only this class or one of its subclass can be the argument type in a catch clause. Yeah, the reasoning is same for the throw. So let's read it further. Instances of two subclasses, error and exception, are conventionally used to indicate that exceptional situations have occurred. This is basic. Typically, these instances are freshly created in the context of the exceptional situation so as to include relevant information like here it is, the stack trace data, right? Don't worry, the stack trace thing we are going to see in detail. So let me move this down a bit. This is the important point. Let me go through that. So what it says is a throwable contains a snapshot of the execution stack of its thread at the time it was created. Okay, it can also contain a message string that gives more information about this error. While it can contain a cause, another throwable that caused this throwable, right? So there is this throwable which caused this throwable and which caused this throwable, and a chain could be there, right? Related to these throwables. So the cause facility is new in release 1.4 and it is known as the chained exception facility. So chaining is done here as the cause can itself have a cause and so on, leading to a chain of exception, each caused by the another. So this was all regarding the theory part of this throwable class. So let me show you the constructors and some of the methods. I'll be directly referring the Oracle website, the official documentation one. So it is here since JDK 1.0, and here are some of the constructors which this class provides. So there is a throwable constructor without any arguments. So is used to construct throwable with null as its detailed message. And then you can also pass in a message. Like this constructs a new throwable with the specified detail message. This message you can pass in. Then there's also a constructor which has a message and throwable cause both. So this is used to construct a new throwable with specified detail message and cause. Okay. So there is another constructor which is provided by this class, which is throwable cause, and this constructs a new throwable with the specified cause and detail message of cause is null. Okay, so these are the constructors provided by the throwable class. So let's have a look at some of the methods also provided by this class. Okay, let me erase this all. So some of the some of the important methods are fill in the stack trace. Like this can be used to write the execution stack trace, or get cause. This returns the cause of this throwable or null if the cause is non-existent or unknown. Similarly, these are some other that's provided, and this is the important one, get stack trace. Okay, so get stack trace provides programmatic access to the stack trace information. And yeah, this print stack trace, this is the method which prints the stack trace. So this is the important one. This method is defined here, print stack trace. So this prints this throwable and its backtrace to the standard error stream. Similarly, there are some method overloads provided by this class. Like there is the one with print stream s, and there's the one with print writer S. Okay, so this prints the throwable and it's backtraced to a specified print stream. Similarly, uh, the second one prints the throwable and it's backtraced to the specified print writer. So that's all, I think. Yeah, this is the major part which you can have a look. Like these are the methods defined in detail, and they have explained the parameters and all in more depth. Like these things you can go through on your own, and yeah, I think that should be pretty much about the second tutorial, which was exception hierarchy. So thanks a lot for watching this video. Hey guys, do check out this Instagram channel, Clean Coder Community, for all the jokes and memes related to software engineering. Thanks a lot.